Hi, I'm Amiel, and I'm guided here to say a few words about speaking our truth and living as truth. So many of us who are on a conscious path and awakening have been feeling the call, maybe feel that deep desire to live authentically and to really step into our power. And especially if that's what we intend for ourselves in this timeline, we're likely to be confronted by fears. And those fears are often about living authentically and being accepted. The questions that come up are, how can I be seen and heard in this current reality on this earth without being criticized, rejected, judged? How can I live as my truth and still belong? What will people think of me? This is often what most people fear, is what will somebody else think about me if I say or act in a certain way. So I want to just bring forward the point that many of these fears about living and speaking our truth are actually founded in very real experiences that we've lived in other timelines, where we have indeed been persecuted, judged, ostracized, and sometimes even killed for speaking our truth, living our truth, living in an awareness that perhaps others around us didn't have at the time. So these fears are very real, and it's important to know that these fears can be healed, and if you'd like support for that, please give me a call. However, at this point, I just want to offer as a reminder to us that the consciousness on the planet in those timelines was very different, of course, than the consciousness on this planet at this time. We are absolutely experiencing the return of the Divine Mother and the feminine principle on this planet at this time. And while it may seem like we have a long way to go, and we do, there's definitely a change. We do know that the Divine Mother is being re-anchored into this earth at this time. So the way people perceive spirituality is different than it was. And our own consciousness, of course, in this timeline is different than it was, especially if this is the timeline that we are being called to step into our power. So those fears can be addressed. I want to point out that often what those fears are all focused on is external to us. It's all about what's going to happen out there if I live and speak my truth. How am I going to be perceived, and how am I going to be received? What will people think of me? And of course, sometimes when we're speaking and living our truth, we're connecting with information or sharing information that can challenge other people. And so we get concerned about, how do I live and speak my truth without hurting the other person? So all of that is focused on our connection with others and what might happen to that connection with others. And of course, we all want, really, a peaceful connection with others. We do want to feel like we belong. And yet, if our first focus is on being accepted by others, then we are going to have a very challenging time, because the acceptance really lies with accepting ourselves first. Accepting ourselves in our power and in our truth. And really acknowledging that living our truth and speaking our truth is about aligning to ourselves in our highest expression and respecting and honoring who we are as spirit. And that this matters to us. It matters to us to live our truth and speak our truth. So I'm hoping that the message here really is about shifting our focus from how are others going to receive us to am I honoring myself? And of course, when we shift that focus, then this is what brings us peace with ourselves. We accept the truth of who we are, and this is what we are here for. This is what we're responsible for. And how another person responds or reacts to the truth is what they're responsible for. Now, of course, when we speak our truth and we live our truth, we do this with loving kindness and compassion. So we're mindful that sometimes the truth can be difficult to hear for others, even with ourselves. And so we have compassion and love for ourselves and for others. And as we live and speak our truth, it's important to practice discernment. That we take the time to discern what we say and who we say it to. This is true for everybody, actually. It's about knowing that we have boundaries, we have privacy. Some people will accept us. We know that in advance. They're safe people, they're loving people where we can truly be authentic and not have to be guarded in any way. And then there are others who may not hold the same perceptions and perspectives that we do. And so we meet them in their space. But we can still honor our truth. We can choose our words. We can still feel that acceptance within ourselves, knowing what our truth is and honoring that. So I hope these words are helpful to you. And there's other helpful information on my website, on my blog. So please do take a look, and please share this video with others. Thank you. Be peace.